situation where we're trying to get more information. I'm waiting to get more details about a rescue of that sailboat. We brought you some information earlier. Our Surrey Crow is in the Ocean View section of Norfolk, and I'm waiting to get the information in my hand about some more details that we have. We understand that there are 2 people on board, and I believe we've got some video rolling right now of a sailboat that came ashore in the Ocean View section of Norfolk. So here is what I know so far. 9th View in the Willoughby area, there were 2 people on board that sailboat that came ashore. Crews do not have communication with that vessel. It is right now 400 feet off the beach. Now, right now there's a coordination with Norfolk Fire Department and Norfolk Police to get that boat back to shore. Can't get a small boat or an aircraft to get near it because they were moved, and they're using right now a line throwing gun. What they're doing is it will shoot a line to the boat and try to get them to the beach. Right now we're trying to secure that boat. Rescue crews of course, are trying to secure that boat and bring that to shore. Again, this is a very developing situation, trying to get more details on this, but again, just a bit ago we were able to show you some video of a sailboat in Ocean View in Norfolk, and right now we're understanding that there's a coordinated effort between Norfolk Fire Department and the Norfolk Police Department to get that boat and the 2 people on board safely onto shore. Of course, we're trying to get more details, so you might be able to hear some extraneous noise in the background. We're trying to get some more details right now, and I understand our Surrey Crow is on the scene right now with more details. Surrey, is that you?
Yes, it is me. It's hard to hear you guys, but this is what we know so far. As you just said, there's apparently an active rescue going on in the Willoughby area with 2 people on board, is what we have confirmed. They do not have communication with that vessel, which is 400 feet off the beach. I went down as far as I could on foot to take a look at it, and it's bobbing wildly in the waves. So, some question as to whether there are people on right now or what's gone on. They are not, what you're hearing from Norfolk Fire Department and Norfolk Police, are not able to get a small boat or an aircraft to go because they were moved using a line throwing gun. So excuse me, sorry, it's hard to speak out here with the wind, but there is apparently an active rescue going on. I will find out exactly what's going on and get down to that boat if I can. The weather is just pretty extreme right now, so there is a concerted effort. We have that confirmed from the Coast Guard. We'll be sure to bring you an update on this breaking story.
All right, so Surrey, thanks so much. And to get more perspective on what's going on, we are actually joined by Petty Officer John Miller of the United States Coast Guard. And I know this is taking the Coast Guard kind of back to how things were done before helicopters, before boats, where you had to use that roping to make a virtual zip line to get people back to shore.
Yes, ma'am. It seems like something out of the 19th century, but right now with our other assets pre-positioned out of harm's way, the line throwing gun seems to be our best option right now.
Sir, how long has this been working, and can you tell us anything more about a report of 2 people on board the boat?
Yes, sir. We received, our first call was about 7:55 this morning from a Good Samaritan on the beach. We received a notification that the sailboat was off of 9th View, possibly in distress. Unfortunately, we don't have radio communications with the vessel right now.
Okay, so no way to see a name on the back of the boat, nothing to tell you where this boat came from and where it may have gotten into trouble before folks assume this is, not somebody who decided to go out for a sail in weather like this, but maybe a vessel that got into trouble in another part and has just simply drifted into our area.
We don't know. Yes, ma'am, we don't know that right now.
Could you please tell us a little bit more? You mentioned using the line gun, again, a method of rescue not usually talked about in modern times. Tell us a little bit more about how that works.
The line throwing gun, it looks similar to a rifle, but it shoots compressed air, and it shoots a line, a very thick line, and it can go quite a long distance. And what we'll try to do is, try to get it at or over the sailboat. And basically, right now, we're just trying to secure the sailboat, prevent it from drifting further, or and then use our make a determination what's the best course of action once we've secured the line.
So, Petty Officer Miller, it sounds like if you're going to shoot a line to the boat, will you need some cooperation from the people on the boat to catch it, secure it, and then help in their own rescue? Do you have any evidence, any sign of life from on board the boat that these folks are physically able to do that?
Unfortunately, ma'am, we don't know that right now. We're just keeping our fingers crossed.
Petty Officer Miller, tell us more about the conditions you're having to deal with and how difficult it is to make a rescue in this.
It was extraordinarily difficult. You know, unfortunately, we don't have the use of our traditional assets, such as our small boats and such as our aircraft. We've had to position those out of harm's way, so once the storm has ended, we can move back as quickly as possible to conduct search and rescue missions, and also to conduct damage overflight assessments and missions of that nature. And so, we have one of our hands tied behind our back right now. Our ability to respond has been diminished. Thus we're turning to some alternate methods.
All right, if you're just joining us at 9:10 on this Saturday morning, a active water rescue underway right now in the Ocean View area. We're talking with Petty Officer John Miller from the United States Coast Guard. Obviously, time is of the essence here for a couple of reasons, not just because these two people are being thrown about on their boat, but they're moving toward the fishing pier. So how concerned are you about having enough time to attempt what you're attempting before that boat gets close to the pilings of the pier?
Obviously, we're trying to move as expeditiously as possible. Again, to prevent further damage, not only to the pier but to the vessel itself, and also with concern for the lives and the well-being of the people on board.
Petty Officer Miller, we understand that when the warnings go out, you encourage people or urge them or mandate them not to get out on the water or out in conditions that could endanger their lives. Can you tell us about your assets, your people, and how many you have involved and how they are involved in this?
Right now we have our Sector Hampton Roads Command Center is coordinating this response. So we have people in Portsmouth who are involved. We do have some people still in Portsmouth, again, standing by. But that's what we're doing right now.
Can you tell me about the people that you may have on the scene who are attempting to actually contact or get help to the people on the boat?
I can't say for in particular. I know we did have some personnel from Coast Guard Station Little Creek, which is nearby, mobilizing and looking for resources.
All right, unfortunately, again, this operation is drawing a crowd, folks who should not be out in these conditions. This is a live picture provided by our crew who's been in Ocean View all morning long. And you can see the conditions there by the pier. Here comes more effort, more help there from the fire department working with the Coast Guard to, again, if you're just joining us, try and rescue two people on a sailboat some 400 feet away from the shore, but also not too far either from the Ocean View fishing pier. We've been talking with Petty Officer John Miller, who's from the United States Coast Guard, who says some local Coast Guard units have come, and what they've got to attempt now is basically a rescue the way it would have happened hundreds of years ago, where they shoot a rope gun out to the ship, hopefully secure it, and then use that rope to physically move the people off the boat and just get the people to land. It's not a tow rope, it's not to pull the vessel in, it is just to make, in a sense, a zip line to get the people off the boat. And of course, they need to do that quickly before the boat rams into the pier or the folks simply can't tolerate being tossed around anymore. I know folks want to know, why were they out there? Where did this boat come from? The Coast Guard has said they cannot make radio contact with the people on board to get that kind of information from them. They can't see the back of the boat where you sometimes see a clever name, but then the city of origin for the vessel. They don't have that information right now. They're just simply hoping the folks on board will be able to help save their own lives when they shoot that rope gun on board and try to get them, manually. There are no helicopters that can fly in this kind of weather. Their small boats are not available. As Petty Officer Miller put it, they say they need to do this with one arm tied behind their back and, oh, by the way, in hurricane conditions. So we are certainly hoping for the best in this rescue. These are pictures that you're seeing on Wavy News 10 live right now as this is happening, as we've had a crew in Ocean View for most of the morning.
Petty Officer Miller, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Have you actually made contact with the people on the boat?
No, sir. Again, we've been trying to raise them, but we haven't been able to.
So do we know if anyone is still on the boat?
We've had a report of 2 people on board, sir.
Wow, this is getting a little frightening. We're hoping that the people, if they are on the boat, they are in condition where they can still communicate and they are not hurt. Again, this boat some 400 feet off the beach, off of the 9th View Street area in Willoughby.